Next is BioToxins for taming your toxins. Now this is the toxic face. Looks better without the glare. And there's 10 modern biotoxins that have identified heavy metals, artificial sweeteners, toxic makeup, airborne things, drugs, industrial stuff. The 4 Fs: freak food, fried food, fast food, and Fritz foods. Freak food is genetically modified or hydrogenated. Fritz foods is microwaved. EMFs, antibiotics and allergens and plastics. Okay, I haven't yet figured out a handy mnemonic to remember all 10 of them, but I'm working on it. Unfortunately, the acronym generators on the internet only go up to 9 letters, not 10. So I have to either find a handy programmer to do that 10th one for me or find a better acronym generator, which I haven't found yet. The major ones for adrenal fatigue are the following: heavy metals, artificial sweeteners, the 4 Fs, coffee and chocolate, and EMFs.
When you say chocolate, do you mean raw cacao as well?
What I mean by chocolate is that there's a chemical called theobromine, which is only 1 methyl group difference from caffeine, and that means it's very similar to caffeine. A methyl group is simply a carbon with 3 hydrogens. I mean, look, we in organic chemistry class, we separated out caffeine from tea leaves, and then we went over the biochemistry of theobromine and how it was really not that different. So the issue with chocolate and coffee is that they're stimulants to the adrenal glands. And if you crave chocolate, and I don't mean you like a piece of chocolate, I mean like you're going to kill someone if you don't get that chocolate, you probably have a magnesium deficiency. So I would go for that instead. And look, raw cacao is better than sugar plus chocolate. It's better, for sure. If I eat chocolate, which I love, I go for dark as possible. Or just the raw cacao beans.
I understood raw cacao is a really good source of magnesium. It's really high magnesium.
It is, and it also has the theobromine in it, so there are other high magnesium foods. And if you're getting whole raw cacao, it's certainly better than a Hershey bar. It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum.
So what is the raw cacao? You just make smoothies or...
Raw cacao is a source of theobromine, which is a version of caffeine, and there's magnesium in it. So, but you're getting, look, you're still getting the stimulants from the theobromine. But you're also getting it in a more whole food form, not being mixed together with weird hydrogenated fats and sugar that are in most candy bars. So it's a spectrum. It's like McDonald's hamburger bun all the way up to, the organic paleo bread, which, there's a spectrum in between.
No, I get
It stimulates it like caffeine. It forces it to pump out cortisol. Yeah.
Does coconut oil and MCT oil activate the adrenal fatigues?
Activate it or help it? Help it, absolutely. Yeah, coconut oil, we're getting there. Yeah.
Slightly odd question, Sam. Have you ever, you know me, I'm addicted to coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Have you,
She unplugged the IV drip of coffee before she came here. So yeah.
have you ever sort of worked with someone to get off coffee, or have you got any advice about
Sure,
that?
I work on everything else except coffee. I'm serious. No, that's a really good point. I have someone who's like, I gotta have my coffee. They're real like aggro about it or scared. I say, keep your coffee, keep your chocolate, keep whatever. There's 9 other points of wellness to deal with. So do you see how sane that is? It's I don't have to fight with my patients anymore. They don't have to fight with me. It's like, fine, keep your vice. Fine, seriously. Let's work on everything else.
If you went cold turkey off coffee,
That'd be
that's
a
kind of
fun
my
experience.
personality that
Okay.
I'd go, well, maybe I'll just stop.
Yes, and
Is that the way to do it, though, or is it to
there are the easy ways and the hard ways.
or maybe we'll talk later.
Yeah.
It's just that the coffee thing's an interesting one, eh?
The coffee, if you want to make your coffee less damaging, add cinnamon and coconut oil or coconut milk to it. It's a spectrum. You can make things less damaging. Add cinnamon, it'll help modulate your blood sugar levels. Add coconut oil, because that will it will help with the and produce it. But just stick to cinnamon and coconut milk and
What about, are you aware of like where your coffee beans come from?
Absolutely.
Because there's like a big discussion globally around mold toxins.
Oh, absolutely. And I listened to a colleague of mine, Dave Asprey, who's kind of the headline person in the States for mold-free coffee, which is one reason why people get really jittery. Is actually the mold issue, not the caffeine issue. So in New Zealand, I believe it's actually pretty clean. I mean, you can go into any food item and have this issue. Olive oil. Only California, New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa actually have laws around their olive oil. Everywhere else, you can have 10% of the oil as olive oil, and you can still call it olive oil. That's why olive oil in New Zealand is expensive, because it's real. All right? So buy your olive oil from one of those 4 places, and that's it.
New Zealand, California.
So not Italian.
Australia, the organic Italian olive oil that I see in the, shops for like $10 a liter, I'm like, nah, I'm not so sure about that. It doesn't make sense to me. I'd have to research that company a bit more before I can fully trust it, because you can get away with a lot nowadays. So, I recommend tongue scraping as a very simple way to... How many of you do not tongue scrape in the morning? Not how many of you know about it. How many of you... Because a lot of people know about it, still don't do it. How many don't do it? Raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Okay, homework. So, very simple. Get a wide supplement cap of the many you have bottles in your closet, probably. And just scrape it off. Don't brush, because it's going to bring it in. Okay? Just scrape it off. And, no, you scrape it off, and then you wash off the gunk that comes off of it. And
What? A lid.
no, it's a supplement cap. Or a metal spoon. I prefer the supplement cap because it's actually a bit. Or you can buy one, but
Copper one's beautiful.
you can buy a copper one. You can buy a plastic ones. Snap. You don't want to brush the bacteria into your tongue. You got to scrape it off. You can't. The real way to clean a cutting board is not to wash it. It's to scrape off the biofilm. That's the real way to clean a cutting board. The same is true with your tongue. If you don't believe me, get a nice heavy-duty metal scraper for your cutting board and try not to vomit when you see the layer of gunk coming off your supposedly pristine cutting board. It is absolutely nauseating to see what actually the film that you can't see but gets scraped off.